But as a man, that is now your job to make me feel safe, to assure me, like, you know, babe, that's your job as a man, basically.
I'm still going to beg to differ because I feel like it must have for me is both parties, we have to be able to make each other feel safe.
And I saw a tweet earlier today about somebody who left her relationship because she didn't have like good enough communication in her relationship. And it wasn't even any serious, the guy cheated, he didn't tell her. I'm talking about something as basic as just communicating how exactly he feels about certain things.
Okay.
And the girl left the relationship. People were like, you sound very dumb. Why would you leave? Because he cannot communicate his feelings. I mean, that's just what it is. You have to deal with it. But again, it matters to this girl. That's why she left the relationship.
It's a big deal for her.
It's a big deal for her, Jige. And for me as well, I think it's one of the non-negotiables in relationships. If I don't feel like I can reach out to you via communication, it's going to be really, really tough for me in that relationship. And people keep underestimating that aspect, how important it is. Yeah, because you only think about other things and say, oh, don't cheat on me, respect me, and all of that. But there are also basic things that seem basic, but also very, very vital in relationships.
I feel like if you're not communicating, then you're assuming. You know, there's no in between, and that is when the problem is for me, because if you start assuming things about, you know, instead of just communicating how you're feeling, you just run with the assumption of whatever the narrative is in your head. That's where the problem starts coming in. Yeah. And then let's not even start talking about comprehension, because communicating is one thing.
Comprehension.
But comprehension is another, because you imagine trying to like express your feelings, but then this person is not grabbing what you are saying.
Or you know those kind of guys that are like, oh, so is that the reason why your emotions? It's not that deep.
It's deep for her. Or like, some people would listen to you, but then invalidate whatever you say.
Yeah, that's gaslighting is like at
101.
Excuse me, like if I'm saying something, like I'm expressing how I feel about something towards you, don't make me feel stupid and then turn the tables around and make it look like, oh, you're overthinking it.
You're the one overreacting.
You are the problem because I'm trying to tell you, so this is how I feel. And like you said earlier, comprehension is also very key.
Yeah.
But also you accepting your faults in that relation, in that issue.
In that
is also issue. Very powerful. Like, even though you are not wrong, at least listen to what this person is saying, because that's the whole point of communication. Because at the end of the day, I feel the way I feel. Point blank, period.
I feel like a lot of which reminds me of you is a period something. Because at the end of the day, but then you also have to find a way to not invalidate the other person's feelings.
Yeah.
And you know, men do not listen. Exactly. I feel like
not listen to comprehend,
yeah, exactly. I feel like in an ideal relationship, the most important thing, the first important thing in that relationship is to find a man that actually listens to you. Yeah. You know, when a man listens to you, you just know. It will show in the actions, in the things like he does.
After having that conversation, like the next steps, will show that.
It will even show in how you handle issues, how you handle your problems. Like when issues come up in a relationship, there's a certain way that you guys will handle it if this person can really listen to you and really not just listen to respond, but listen to understand and actually knowing that, okay, this is what you're going through. How are we going to, how can we move?
How can we work
on
through
from
this?
Yes. Yeah.
But I feel like you guys are really not pointing out certain issues the right way.
Point it out there.
Being the president of communication. I feel like, so, most people try to talk to you and they are screaming. Most people are trying to say, oh, I don't feel certain way, but you're not saying you're not feeling a certain way. You're just going round in circles and the other person is trying to listen, but no message is being passed. That's when you get people now say, oh, every time I talk to you, you're not paying attention. Mumu, I'm paying attention. What are you saying?
Okay, to effectively communicate.
Yeah, like before you complain, people don't listen. Sort out your problem first and ask yourself, how do I tell people I'm not fine? I want to talk to Ravina now. Oh, I don't like the way you pulled my hair. You remember that other day now when you and I were talking, you dragged me, like, go straight to the point. Tell me, oh, Ravina, please, I really don't like the way you pulled my hair. Like, I felt a certain way. You get, she would understand. Then when there's a problem is when you now start saying, you know what, it's just a joke, or you're trying to
be dismissive.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that happens a lot in relationships.
Exactly. And it happens with women.
Especially.
Not being able to communicate the right way
Nah,
properly.
don't say like that. It's not
I feel like
with
with
It
women.
happens with women.
Mostly than the
mostly.
men.
No,
It
that
happens
is not
with
true.
see.
I don't think so.
Most
Women
men-
are
most men don't
over-expressive. I
complain.
think that's our own problem.
They're over-expressive, but how do you express yourself?
No,
Most men don't complain. Most men will literally hit it on the nail.
Let's not do that, because at the end of the day, there are people who do that. So I don't think it's a woman-man situation.
Yeah,
It's
not really
a general
It's a
observation.
general
thing. Because I've been with people who just don't know how to communicate, or how they're talking to me just sounded completely off. And I'm here trying to be the bigger person. I'm calling you into, and I'm trying to have a mature conversation with you. Okay, so
and they're being rude.
you get? I'm like,
throwing insults, and you're
okay,
like,
so what
There's no
happened?
need for that.
Yeah.
What happened yesterday? I would like us to talk about this. This is how my demeanor is. I would like us to just talk about it so I understand where you were coming from, and I also would like you to understand. I'm talking very maturely.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you are now dropping stupid gems, dropping gems, nuggets of wisdom that don't make any sense to me. And also, you're being condescending and rude about it. And these are men. So, it's just
We're basing the conversation on a relationship.
I feel like men are literally dismissive, but women don't know how to communicate sometimes. Like,
I also, you have a point, There's some women
I think I just don't like the women.
There are some women that their
don't
only way to express is just to get angry and flare up.
There are people
Without
there are also men like
passing
that.
the point.
There are also men like that.
There are also men like that.
I'm
But don't
saying
say
for
women.
relationship, like if you literally watch relationship programs, if you literally watch these simple cuts where they are dragging each other, you
That one
understand.
You know,
that
most of those
communication-
conversations are
they are made
set up.
They are made up, but let's talk about the ones that are real, that we know are real. They are brought to the court to but most of these situations are mostly women. Even I have a cousin that's a lawyer. She's a divorce lawyer, and she will tell you that most of the reason why people find it hard to settle is because of simple things, simple conversations. You get most of the people that come to complain, oh, I want to end my marriage. A simple discussion would have sorted out everything, and it starts with the woman. Because most men always pretend to be like they're not self-aware of their relationship. Most people are very nonchalant about their relationship, and that one. So
why do we have to carry that burden?
You don't have to carry.
I was going to ask that same question.
You don't have to carry.
Why are you focusing? Okay,
I'm not trying to set an attack. I made references to my conversation. Actually, divorce women, most women would have communicated. When you have communicated and your partner seems to lack understanding, you move forward. But most people do not communicate. Most people go up with the silent treatment. Okay, you know what?
Okay,
I'm just going to keep quiet. True. And then when I'm fed up, I move. Yeah. If you had said something, it would have been like sorted out on time. Then it's a problem when the other person does not know how to communicate. Then you can teach.
Well, that's if the person is teachable.
Exactly.
I feel like as a man, it is your job to create a safe space for your woman,
for your partner.
But when the man
for your woman to be able,
you should go and learn.
Yeah, like you need to, as a man, you need to create that safe space. I need to feel safe coming to talk to you about anything.
Do you know that there are some men that you say, oh, I'm having menstrual cramps. Only you get my I need the face. Like, she doesn't need you to tell her all of that at that moment. She just needs you to, make her
I feel like if you create a safe space as a man, a woman will always talk, especially when they are uncomfortable. That is one thing I like women about. Like, if we're uncomfortable with a certain situation, we're not the type that now, unless maybe you like being abused or like you just like chopping. Because, but if you don't, you're going to speak up as a woman. You want to know what is going on. Why is this happening? The way you say it might differ. It might be different. You might not come but as a man, that is now your job to make me feel safe, to assure me Like, babe, that's your job as a man, basically.
I'm still going to beg to differ, because I feel like it must have for me is both parties, we have to be able to make each other feel safe.
Exactly.
If you're making me feel safe and I cannot make you feel safe,
it's
not a man way of, okay, you must.
No, I don't think that's what she was. I don't think that's what she meant.
I'm just trying to put it out there that for my own must have,
both of them need to meet each other.
Yeah, if we cannot talk to each other, while I do.
I think I get where she's coming from.
If I can talk to you and you cannot talk to me, there's a problem.
I get where she's coming from when she says the man has to be the one to create that safe space, because
most men
at the end of the day, you are the head of the home.
Do you get?
You are leading me.
I don't think this set knows that it's the head of the home.
No, because you are literally society says you are, so you have to take that
men still struggle.
stand.